waiting for his quarterback to come back in, and that shot in the tunnel has we've seen that a lot with Mike Vrabel waiting to welcome his players back to the locker room. They got something special going on here in Foxborough.
Yeah, they really do, and as someone who's ran up that tunnel after a divisional win, knowing you're going to the conference championship game, what an amazing feeling that is. Brings back a lot of fond memories for myself. And to see Drake May doing it for the first time, to see Mike Vrabel doing it for the first time as the head coach, this is a special moment for the New England Patriots.
Well, our Monday
plenty in the first half. Marcus Spears, Jason Kelsey, Ryan Clark. I'm Scott Van Pelt. Ben, we spent a great deal of our couple of hours before the game talking about how both quarterbacks needed to protect the football. Really, neither did, but Swag, 4 interceptions in the first half. With 30 minutes left in their season, I think the Texans are talking about who's playing quarterback in the second half.
It's got to be a conversation between Davis Mills, and I get it that it's your starter, you want to bold confidence, but C.J. Stroud looks rattled right now. And it was a little bit of this in Pittsburgh that had me concerned about tonight. Taking care of the football was the premium tonight. This defense for the Houston Texans, thank God it's the Houston Texans defense, because if it wasn't, this game would be absolutely over right now. And I think as a staff, you got to go in and ask yourself, not can he throw it or not any of that. Where is his mind? Somebody take him in a room and say, CJ, where are you right now? Be honest with me. Because if not, Davis Mills will have to be the guy.
You are not having that conversation with C.J. Stroud. The second half has legit ramifications on whether or not C.J. Stroud is the quarterback for the Houston Texans going forward. 3 years in a row, C.J. Stroud's gotten you to this game. This is the year you feel like you have the players around him to win it. There's no Nico Collins. There's no Dalton Schultz. There's no run game. They put everything on this young man's shoulders. Give him 30 minutes to show you that he's the guy you drafted second overall. He's the guy that's brought you here, and that he's the dude that can take you in the future. He's playing for it all right now, whether if it's his mind, if it's physical, if it's decisions, if it's bad throws. You got to let him go out and show you this is who he is.
And the problem is now they've built themselves in a hole, so now he has to go out there and make plays. Before, he could have settled in and let that defense make plays. He's going to have to come out here and make plays himself. It can't just be this protect the ball, don't make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
He's going to have to come out here, not only stop doing that, but make plays down the field.
I've seen bad games. I've seen quarterbacks play bad games and bounce back. It's 2 weeks in a row now in the playoffs.
Hey, fellas, what's crazy is that May put the ball on the ground 3 times. As big a play as there's been in the first half is that Houston was unable to get the strip sack recovery inside the 5-yard line, and it's a 10-point game, in fact, in large part because this Houston defense has managed those turnovers.
This Houston's defense has been amazing. They not only created turnovers, but when turning the football over, they force punts. They force opportunities to get the ball back to their offense. Daniil Hunter has been amazing. Will Anderson coming off of the edge has been amazing, even forcing fumbles in the interior of the defensive line. But if you're this defense, you cannot allow fatigue to take you out of making plays. That's both mentally and physically if you're the Houston Texans.
Will Campbell's done a great job of falling on both of these fumbles. They would have been crucial turnovers that would have resulted in points both times, most likely for Houston. One would have likely been a touchdown. New England's defense, I want to give them some credit. We're talking about C.J. Stroud.
Been amazing.
The Patriots, Vrabel, Zach Kerr, they are throwing all sorts of things at them. They're blitzing underneath. They're setting backers through the A-gaps. They've done a great job of applying pressure on C.J. Stroud.
There are also more issues. This offensive line is not playing well for Houston.
Yeah.
They can't run the football. I'm not laying it all on C.J. feet, but the decision-making from the most important guy that's going to touch the ball is alarming to me. It was alarming in Pittsburgh. It's alarming to me tonight. Eat it. Punt the football and let your defense live.
And the other thing is this, too. He got to pick his head up. Yeah. He got to stop walking to the sideline like he's defeated. Yeah. He got to stop looking at all the other people wondering what's going on. We get it. There's a ton of pressure. We get it. Your top 2 targets aren't there. This is who you're supposed to be.
100%.
This is the reason we've all played this game our entire life, is to be in this stadium at this moment with everybody on the sideline looking at us to do it. This is going to have major ramifications on how executives, coaches, and the players in that locker room look at C.J. Stroud. Come out here and lead like you have your entire life.
You think he can?
I was going to follow it up, but I don't know how to top what RC just said. I think he can, absolutely. I think you got to have this mechanism when you're going through stuff like this, where you feel like you're in the matrix. You don't know what's up, what's down. You got to have something that gets you back to ground level. A lot of times just focus on your little techniques. Focus on one little play at a time. I think that's what they got to do coming out.
They get the ball first coming out of the locker room. It's a gigantic opportunity. 30 minutes of football left, potentially in in their season. We'll see what Stroud and the Texans can do to answer what has been a miserable first half with turnovers.
You're watching the All-State Halftime. All-State, you're in good hands.
All time. Fellas, it's time for some picks. We heard what the fellas outside had to say. Greeny leading historical defense. Who else were Teddy and Moss going to pick but the Patriots? They had to do what they had to do because we're all we got and they're all their needs. Swag, what do you got?
Nothing travels in football like defense. Since Pee Wee football all the way to the NFL. And I think this historic Houston Texans defense is going to finish this run for the New England Patriots, unfortunately. I think it'll be a dominant performance also from this defense. This is those moments, Scott, where you etch your name in history. This defense is built for it.
This is a tough one because I really do like the space you're seeing for Abel, Drake May, what they've accomplished this year, but I do think the Texans in this defense, it feels like a defensive year. You got them, you got Seattle, they're both just balling out right now. Anyways, I'm going Texans.
Third time's the charm. This is going to be an excellent game. Two extremely good teams. When we talked about that defense, C.J. Stroud makes a play in an important moment to win this game for the Houston Texans.
We saw them in Pittsburgh, and they were nasty. We watched what Seattle did last night. That was on Seattle's home field. I feel like May, Vrabel, and this Patriot team ready to forge their own identity and take a step towards the Super Bowl. I like the home team here. I think there's more points today than people think, but what do I know? We shall find out. Fellas, it's been a pleasure to be with you throughout this season. Thanks to our incredibly hard-working crew behind the scenes. Thanks to all of you for being out there. We'll see you at the half. Enjoy it. The Patriots and Texans. Hi, Jason, Ryan, Scott Van Pelt with you inside here. And Jason, Milton Williams is a guy you know well from the 4 years that he spent in Philadelphia. Disruptive force. What makes him so problematic?
He's like a pit bull. He's sawed off, but strong as an ox and quick as flash. I mean, it was fun watching him when he first came in. It's been a pleasure watching him mature as a player. When he first came in, he was like a flash in the pan type guy. He'd come in and he'd shoot a gap. He'd make a big play as a sub-rotational guy, and he's really flourished into an every down player. And he can play physical at the point of attack. He picks and chooses those spots to take his chances in a much more intelligent way. He got a bunch of pressures on games. He had a good bull rush of Zion Johnson last week. He's really had a tremendous year for the Patriots, and I've been enjoying watching him play.
This is 3 years that we've been doing this as a group, and it's 3 years in the divisional round we've had Houston, Swag. We were in Baltimore, we were in Kansas City, and now here we are. And to see C.J. Stroud look, in your words, shook in that game at Pittsburgh is a little bit jarring, and he's facing a tough pass rush tonight. What are you looking for there? What are the tells?
Yeah, it concerned me, man. And look, the calling card for this team for a large majority of the time was the interior pressure was costing C.J. Stroud the opportunity to develop. They were giving up a lot of pressure on the interior. Saw some of that old stuff rear its head against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's something that they do well in New England, as you just mentioned. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to look at this simulated pressure by Terrell Austin from the interior of this line of scrimmage. And now you get games. You get twist and stunt. And understanding that the guard, center guard are the most important people in this game today for the Houston Texans. So you get this slide by the offensive line, but now it's sorting that has to happen. So C.J. Stroud has opportunities to escape. The problem is that while you're trying to keep your eyes downfield and feel this pressure, it's a problem. You see New England here. It's an interior pressure. We used to call this a T game or a switch game, and you see this pressure pushing up into Justin Herbert.